So you're out there building out your own contractor website, your own home services website, your own local business website, and you're moving along and you've built out the home page. Maybe you structured out an about page, you've built out the contact page on your website. But then you're starting to look at websites online and you're starting to see your competitors or just other websites in general have a bunch of service pages and additional pages added to the website. So now you're starting to realize that you need to add service pages to your websites, but you don't really know what should you add, how many pages should you add, what type of service pages should you add, how should you structure your service pages on your website. Well, this is what this whole video is going to be about. I'm going to show you exactly how you should structure out search engine optimized service pages connected to your homepage to give your website a good chance of ranking much better on Google with adding additional service pages. What's up there, guys? This is here once again with Get Busy LLC, helping home service business owners, contractors, local businesses understand the internet, show them how to build out their own websites, do their own SEO to get their businesses found on the internet and generate more leads for their business. So in this video, I want to talk about service pages and adding service pages to your home service or contractor website. Now, as you go around, well, usually when I run into people that are kind of building out their own websites, doing their own thing, or when people hire me out to build out their websites for them, and I go just fix up the websites that they currently have, a lot of the times I've noticed that and I totally understand it, all they have is just one giant continuous page of a website. Sometimes they add an about page and a contact page, but in essence, it's just one single page for a website. And in these days, in order to rank better online, to get your business found online better, it's just better to have more pages on your website. But a lot of people just don't really know how to really structure it, how to set that up, how to really organize all these service pages. So this is what this video is going to be about. And it totally depends on the industry that you're in. So let's say that I own a junk removal service. Obviously, the main theme of my website is going to be junk removal services in my town, USA, right? So what you're going to need to do is you're going to start to build out service pages. And the best way to do that is to build out service pages dedicated to particular things that you remove from people's homes. So let's say that you haul away appliances. So you build out a page for appliance removal in your particular town. Let's say you haul away hot tubs. You break down and remove hot tubs. You need to build out a page that says hot tub removal in your particular town. Another page for furniture removal in that particular town. Let's say you own a tree service company. The same thing. The main theme of your website should be tree services in your town, USA. And then you should have service pages for each particular service that you offer. For instances, I've worked with tree service companies before. They offer tree trimming, tree removal, emergency tree services, stump removal, stump grinding, shrub removal, things like that. So you start building out individual pages for each particular service that you provide. And the whole idea here is to just almost, in a way, mimic the homepage you set up in the beginning and treat each one of your service pages almost like a landing page for that particular service. So like I've mentioned many times here on this channel, your website pages should follow the rules of SEO that I call it. So this is a particular website page. It doesn't matter if it's your homepage or individual service pages or location pages. Every page should be search engine optimized for the particular search your customers will potentially type into Google's search bar and look for that service. So using the example of a junk removal business, right? My homepage on my website should be the title of my homepage for my website should be junk removal in my town. The description should also include junk removal in my town. The title of my website should say junk removal in my town. All the subheadlines on that website should reinforce the main headline of junk removal in my town. And of course, all of the content should be written about junk removal in that town. So when it comes to your service pages, the exact same thing holds true. So let's say I'm going to build a page for appliance removal in my town. That next page, this service page, should be appliance removal in my town. The description should say appliance removal in my town. The title of my website should be appliance removal in my town. The subheadline should be appliance removal in my town. And then the content should be appliance removal in my town. The only difference with these pages is somewhere on this page, it should link right back to your homepage. So let me show you an example of how this should look. So this is my template that I use when I build out websites for people that hire me to build out their websites. So let's say this is a treat. Oh, let's say the example of the junk removal. We are the best junk removal service in Fresno, California. I always use Fresno because Fresno is easy for me to remember, and it's just one word. So we are the best junk removal service in Fresno, California. And as you scroll through here, the content written on this homepage follows all those rules of SEO. But then you'll see, let's pretend this is going to be appliance removal in Fresno. So this will link out to service page number 1, which is also listed up here. So you click on this. Oops, let me go back here. And this should link to service page number 1. Now, this service page should be named appliance removal in Fresno, California. And you go into and talk about why that is, why they should call for appliance removal, follow the same rules of SEO. Make sure the title's on there, the description, H1 title tag, the subheadlines here, all match appliance removal in Fresno, California. And then as you scroll through here, there should be a link that points right back to the homepage right there. There you go. That's how you should structure out your service pages. So how you have to think about it is like this visually. So this is how I visually look at the website. This is why I made these frameworks. So it helps me understand how I should structure out the website visually. So you see, here's my homepage, and then here's the additional service pages. So the homepage should connect to each one of these service pages right here. And then these service pages should connect right back to that homepage, just like that. Now, how many service pages should you add to your website? Well, in my opinion, if you're building out your own website and you have the time, I would build as many as you can even imagine. Just build them out. What's the damage in building them out, especially with ChatGPT and these templates and ways to design these nowadays is even easier than it has ever been before, especially something like junk removal or tree services or plumbing. There's some industries where there's just not that much additional service pages to add. But something like junk removal, there's almost endless amount of pages you can add. Stuff with like asphalt paving as well. It totally depends. And the more pages that you add, Google keeps coming back to these websites and crawl, and it sees that you keep adding pages, keep adding 8 pages. You're starting to tell Google that you're an authority for this main subject of your main service in your location. And you have all these service pages proving to the search engine that this is exactly what you do. You have multiple pages. So what you can end up doing as well is you could end up creating subcategory pages for your services, for the example of junk removal as well. So let's say you do appliance removal. Well, what types of appliances do you remove? I remove refrigerators. I remove dishwashers. I remove old swamp coolers that are sitting in a yard. I remove washers and dryers, things like that. So then what you need to do is create another sub-service page that connects to this page, and they link out to this page right here. So I'm going to show you guys some live examples to see this in action. So here's an example of a junk removal business. So you can see we build out service pages, and we built tons of them, right? Not only did we build these tons of service pages, we've also built subcategories for each one of these service pages, creating a ton of pages, a ton of authority. Give Google a reason to keep coming back to this website and crawling it, which builds more authority and helps it rank better. So you're going to see we followed that structure that I was explaining earlier. So let's go to services. We're going to go to appliance removal. So here's our appliance removal page. And basically all I do is follow the same process I follow with building out a home page of a website, and just rebuilt that same page, but rebuilt it specifically for this specific service, which is appliance removal. And then what we ended up doing was creating subcategories for this page. You're going to see, well, first of all, you'll notice that this page always links back to the home page right here. And then we have the subcategories that from this page link out to the other page, just like this diagram shows right here. So this is appliance removal, right? So we have one for dishwasher, swamp cooler, washers and dryers, refrigerators and freezers, and that sort of thing, right? So you go in here and this will link out to refrigerators and freezers. There you go, freezer and refrigerator removal in Cincinnati. So we build out a page for this right here. And then this page always links back to the home page. And then this page will also link back to its main category page, which is the appliance removal page right here. And then we have another one for, let's say, appliance removal for swamp coolers. We remove swamp cooler removal in Cincinnati, right? We go through here. And you're going to see this page is all about a specific service in a specific location. Hopefully we'll rank for this right here. And then this, of course, will link back to its main service page and then the main overall homepage of the website. Hope I'm not confusing you guys too much here. So let me share with you guys why you should build out all these service pages, because it goes back to creating location pages. It's like fishing in a lake. The more fishing poles you have in that lake, the more chances you have of catching a fish as compared to just one page one page focused on just simply the main service you provide. If you have a bunch of service pages for a bunch of little subcategory pages, you never know, that one person could actually type in that exact service you're providing that moment, and they run into that specific page, and then bam, you got yourself a lead. So this is a crazy thing. Some people, it's rare, but it does happen. Some people actually type this into Google: camper trailer removal. They got an old camper or a pop-up camper trailer that they want to get rid of. So why not build a page for that? And by the off chance somebody runs into that page you built out, you got yourself a lead, right? So camper trailer removal in Cincinnati, right? You type that into Google and you're going to see this page is ranking here on Google. It's like number 2 on the search results. You click on it, professional camper removal in Cincinnati. There you go. A page built specifically for that search term. And this page will link right back to the homepage. It lets the customer know what they're all about, that they're a junk removal and demo service in this particular location. Let's do another one. Couch removal in Cincinnati, right? You're going to see their listings there at the top. Why is their listing there at the top? Because on their website, they have a page for couch removal, old couch removal in Cincinnati. How about that? And this is why I build out so many service pages for websites and stuff like this. So like this one here, I built out driveways, parking. This is a completely different industry, but something like driveways and parking lots, road construction, concrete services. So there's driveways, right? They do asphalt driveways in this particular area, but there's subcategories of asphalt driveways, right? There is new driveways, there's driveway overlays, there's driveway resurfacing, there's just driveway repairs, driveway seal coating. Same with parking lots, new parking lots, parking lot resurfacing, parking lot repairs. They do concrete services just in general, but they do concrete driveways, concrete curbs and gutters, and things like that. So it totally depends on your industry. So in my opinion, you should build out as many pages as you can, as long as you have unique content on each one, and each one is almost like a landing page for that specific service. So when somebody just by some off chance types in that specific service in that specific town, that specific page will show up for them on the search results, which will generate a lead for your business. So there you go. That's how I set up and structure service pages for websites that I built for contractors, home services, local businesses, and things like that. And again, it totally depends on the industry. There's some industries that require a shit ton of more service pages as compared to some that don't require much at all. Like I said, I've built some really, really simple websites in smaller towns. You really don't need that much to compete. Since you're in a small town, just one page and maybe 5 service pages will do it and get the job done. Other towns, very, very competitive. Like, for example, Cincinnati is brutally competitive. So it makes sense to build out as many pages as you can to have as many fishing poles in that pond, fishing for as many leads as you possibly can with different various search terms, pages, and things like that. And try to focus on building pages that are designed more like funnels and capture pages to generate those leads for your businesses. So if you guys want help with setting up your own website, restructuring, rebuilding, whatever it might be, you could book a call with me here in the description below. If you guys feel like you guys can build out your own, these days is easier than ever. I strongly believe, especially since, like I said, I tell people I was just a dummy truck driver and I've learned how to design websites now. And with the help of ChatGPT, I've built a bunch of prompts now that help me build out these websites lightning fast. And I share all of that stuff in my little training here. My templates, my designs, my pages, my location pages, everything you need to build out a website that I wish somebody would have taught me years ago instead of just grinding through all this crap and trying to figure it out on my own. All of that's in the description below. And if you guys want to see how I write the content of the homepage, or you guys get an idea of how I write that content, and it included some of the prompts that I use, which I end up using for the service pages, things like that, you can check out this video right here I made a little while ago. You can check that out. And that's all I got for you guys today. Until next time.